Major U.S. labor union chooses not to endorse either Harris or Trump. One of America's most influential labor unions, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, has chosen not to endorse a U.S. presidential candidate for the first time since 1996. With approximately 1.3 million members across the U.S. and Canada, the union stated that it received few commitments on key Teamsters issues from either Democratic nominee Kamala Harris or Republican nominee Donald Trump. Additionally, polling of its rank-and-file members revealed no definitive support for either candidate, although recent surveys showed significant backing for Trump. This decision poses a significant setback for Harris's campaign as it seeks to attract working-class voters with less than 50 days remaining until election night. An endorsement from the Teamsters could have mobilized thousands of members living, working, and voting in key battleground states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Following the announcement, however, several Teamsters regional councils, representing over 500,000 members in Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and California, declared their support for Harris. In response, the Harris campaign highlighted its backing from the overwhelming majority of organized labor and pointed out that many Teamsters locals have rallied behind her candidacy. While Donald Trump advocates for firing striking workers, Vice President Harris has consistently walked the picket line and stood firm with organized labor throughout her career, said campaign spokesperson Lauren Hitt. The union's rank and file, comprising freight drivers, warehouse workers, and airline pilots, has long been seen as politically diverse. Since taking over as general president in 2022, Sean O'Brien has aimed to build relationships with Republicans, reaching out to more populist figures like Senators Josh Hawley of Missouri and J.D. Vance of Ohio, who is now Trump's running mate. O'Brien even met privately with Trump at his Mar-a-Lago estate in January, just before the former president participated in a roundtable with the union's board in Washington, D.C. Following that meeting, Trump expressed optimism about securing the union's endorsement. The board also met with President Joe Biden before he officially became the Democratic nominee, as well as with third-party candidates Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Cornel West. However, the union alarmed Democrats by making its first financial contributions to their opponents in years, donating $45,000 each to both the Democratic and Republican national conventions in February, the maximum allowed amount. O'Brien became the first Teamsters leader to address the Republican National Convention, RNC, where he praised Trump as one tough SOB but stopped short of endorsing him. He later criticized both Trump and billionaire campaign surrogate Elon Musk for discussing the firing of workers who threatened to strike. Following his speech at the RNC, O'Brien was not invited to address the Democratic convention last month. Instead, rank-and-file members were chosen to represent the union. Some Teamsters have expressed frustration with O'Brien's outreach to the right. Last month, the Teamsters National Black Caucus and 6 union locals defied national leadership by endorsing Harris and urging members to support her. On Monday, Harris met with the Teamsters board in a long-delayed roundtable that lasted an hour and a half. A New York Times report described the meeting as sometimes tense, but a Teamsters spokesperson disputed that characterization. During their discussion, Harris reportedly told the leaders, "I'm confident I'm going to win this. I want your endorsement, but if I don't get it, I will treat you exactly as if I had gotten your endorsement." After Harris's pitch, O'Brien noted that there was not a whole lot of difference between her responses and those of her predecessor, Biden. Biden has frequently described himself as the most pro-labor president ever, citing policies that facilitate worker organization and prioritize union labor for federal projects. Notably, he became the first sitting U.S. president to join a picket line last September, when he supported United Auto Workers in a strike against General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis. His administration also bolstered the Teamsters pension fund with $36 billion, helping to avert cuts to the retirement incomes of over 600,000 members. While O'Brien and other leaders have acknowledged that Biden has been great for unions, some reports indicated that the Teamsters did not plan to endorse his re-election bid before he dropped out in July.